Once upon a time there lived 4 children. Magical accounts and stories usually begin like that, and all unknown accounts are no exception. As you may have guessed, their names were Susan, Edmund, Peter, and Lucy. They were sent to the house of an old professor who lived in the heart of the country, 10 miles from the nearest railway station and 2 miles from the nearest post office. One would say, in the middle of nowhere, far from the hustle and bustle of civilization and the cities, and certainly far from German air raids, safe and quiet.
The professor himself was an old man who lived in a very large house. He didn't have any family, only a housekeeper, called Mrs. Macready. Shaggy white hair grew all over most of the professor's face, and our children liked him almost at once. On the first evening, when he came out to meet them, he was very odd-looking. The time Lucy, who was the youngest, was a little afraid of him, and Edmund wanted to laugh and had to keep on pretending he was blowing his nose. As soon as they had said good night to the professor, the boys came into the girls' room and they talked it over. "We have fallen on our feet, and it is perfect. That old chap will let us do anything we like," said Peter. "I think he's an old dear," said Susan,
"Oh, come off it," said Edmund,
who was tired and pretended not to be tired, which always made him bad-tempered.
"Don't go on like that."
"Like what?" said Susan. "And anyway, it's time we were on date."
Trying to talk like mother, and anyway, who are you to see when aren't you go to bed? Go to bed yourself.
"Why don't we all go to bed?" said Lucy. "We can't foresee how things will turn out if we are heard talking here."
"Come on," said Peter. "I tell you, this is the sort of house where no one's gonna mind what we do. And anyway, they won't hear us. From there, it's about 10 minutes walk. From here down to the dining room, and any amount of stairs and passages in between."
And the thought of all those passages and rows of doors made her feel a little creepy. "It's only a bird, silly," said Edmund. "It's an owl," said Peter. "It's going to be a wonderful place for birds. I shall go to bed now. I say, let's go and explore. Tomorrow you might find anything in a place like this. Did you see those mountains as we came along? And the woods? There might be eagles, there might be stags, there'll be hawks, badgers," said Lucy. "Foxes," said Edmund. "Rabbits," said Susan. But when the next morning came, there was a steady rain falling, so thick that when you looked out of the window you could see neither the mountains, nor the woods, nor even the stream and the garden. "Of course it would be raining," said Edmund. They had finished their breakfast with the professor and were upstairs. "Do stop grumbling, Ed," said Susan. 10 to 1 it'll clear up in an hour or so. And in the meantime, we are pretty well off." "Yes, we are right as rain, and there's a TV and loads of books." "Oh no, not for me," said Peter. "I'm going to explore the house." Everybody agreed to that, and this was how the adventures began. It was the sort of house that you never seemed to come to the end of, and it was full of unexpected places. Empty bedrooms, corridors, and then 5 steps up and 3 down, and then a kind of little upstairs hall, and then a whole series of rooms that led into each other and were lined with books. Most of them very old books, and some bigger than the Bible in a church. And shortly after that, they looked into a room that was quite empty, except for one big wardrobe, the sort that has a looking glass in the door. There was nothing else in the room, all except an empty blue bottle on the windowsill. "Nothing there," said Peter, and they all trooped out again. All except Lucy. "Nothing irregular, but," she thought. She also felt it would be worthwhile trying the door of the wardrobe, even though she felt almost sure that it would be locked. To her surprise, it opened quite easily and 2 mothballs dropped out. Looking into the inside, she saw several coats hanging up. There was nothing Lucy liked so much as the smell and feel of fur. She immediately stepped into the wardrobe and got in among the coats.
Lucy left the door open because she knew that it would be very foolish to shut oneself into any wardrobe, so she went further in and found that there was a second row of coats hanging behind the first one. It was almost quite dark in there, and she kept her arms stretched out in front of her so as not to bump her face against the back of the wardrobe. She took a step further in, then 2 or 3 steps. She expected to feel the woodwork against the tips of her fingers, but she could not feel it. Gargled a bit, she kept going further in. Something changed. First, about her inner state. Subtly, imperceptibly.
And not just the light ahead, something soft and cold was falling on her. A moment later she found that she was standing in the middle of a wood at night time, with snow under her feet and snowflakes. Lucy was a little frightened, but she felt inquisitive and excited as well. She looked back over her shoulder, and there, between the dark tree trunks, she could still see the open doorway of the wardrobe and even catch a glimpse of the empty room from which she had set out. It seemed to be still daylight there. I can always get back if anything goes wrong, thought Lucy. She began to walk forward, crunch, crunch, over the snow and through the wood towards the other light. In about 10 minutes, she reached it and found it was a lamppost. And as she stood there wondering why there was a lamppost in the middle of a wood and wondering what to do next, she heard a pitter-patter of feet coming towards her. And soon after that, a very strange person stepped out from among the trees into the light of the lamppost. He was only a little taller than Lucy herself, and he carried over his head an umbrella white with snow. From waist upwards he was like a man, but his legs were shaped like a goat's. The hair on them was glossy black, and instead of feet he had goat's hooves. He also had a tail, but Lucy did not notice this at first because it was neatly caught up over the arm that held an umbrella so as to keep it from trailing in the snow. He had a red woolen muffler round his neck, and his skin was rather reddish too. He had a strange but pleasant little face with a short pointed beard and curly hair, and out of the hair there stuck 2 horns, one on each side of his forehead. One of his hands, as I have said, held the umbrella. In the other arm he carried several brown paper parcels. What with the parcels and the snow, it looked just as if he had been doing his Christmas shopping. He was a fawn. And when he saw Lucy, he gave such a start of surprise that he dropped all his parcels. "Goodness gracious me!" exclaimed the fawn. "Good evening," said Lucy. But the fawn was so busy picking up its parcels that at first it did not reply. When it had finished, he made her a little bow. Good evening, said the fawn. "Excuse me, I don't want to be inquisitive, but should I be right in thinking that you are a daughter of Eve?" "My name's Lucy," said she, not quite understanding him. "But you are, forgive me, you are what they call a girl?" said the fawn. "Of course I'm a girl," said Lucy. "Are you in fact human?" "Of course I'm human," said Lucy, still a little puzzled. To be sure, said the fawn. "How stupid of me, but I've never seen a son of Adam or a daughter of Eve. It is just that I've never seen anybody of your kind." And then it stopped as if it had been going to say something it had not intended but remembered in time. Delighted, it went on. "Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Thomas." "Well, I'm very pleased to meet you, Mr. Thomas. Is it, Thomas?" "And may I ask, O Lucy, daughter of Eve," said Thomas, "how have you come into Narnia?" "Narnia? What is that?" said Lucy. "This is the land of Narnia," said the fawn. where we are now. All that lies between the lamppost and the great castle of Cair Paravel on the eastern sea. And you've come from the wilderness of the west? I got through the spare room, said Lucy. Ah, said Mr. Thomas in a rather melancholy tone, if only I had studied geography harder when I was a little fawn, I should no doubt know all about those strange lands. It's too late now. But they aren't lands at all, said Lucy, almost laughing. It's only just back there. Well, I'm no longer sure. It is somewhere. Meanwhile, said Mr. Thomas, it is winter here in Narnia, and has been for over so long that we shall both catch cold if we just stand here. Let's hope we are both reasonable enough to know how to get in out of the snow. So let's not stand here talking in the snow. Daughter of Eve from the far land of Spare Home, where eternal summer reigns round the bright city or whatever it is. How would it be if you come and have some tea with me? Oh, thank you very much, Mr. Thomas, said Lucy, but I was wondering if I should be getting back already. It's only just round the corner, said the fawn, and there'll be a roaring fire and toast and sardines and cake. Well, it's very kind offer, said Lucy, but I